So I am going to be completely transparent with all of you listening and just let you know that I tend to record, even though I do 2 episodes of Vigorously a week. What I try to do and what I'm doing this week is recording these on the Sunday ahead, just to make sure that they're done, because I will not be consistent if I do it on a somewhat more last minute basis. Basis, not bassist. I'm thinking music. Anyway, I know I won't do it if I don't just sit down and give myself a couple of hours to crank both of them out and edit accordingly and get all the video that corresponds with each episode done accordingly. So yeah, I'm still wearing the same shirt, but the more that I think about it, it makes sense, because the title of this particular episode and what I want to talk about today on Vigorously are my sustainable style tips. Wear something more than once is a big one. So yeah, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to wear this again. Yes, I know it's the same day, but I don't mind that you're going to see me wearing it multiple times, because your girl is on a budget. Okay, we are on an ASOS budget. We are on a Target budget. We are on an Amazon budget. We are on we're that's kind of what we're dealing with here. We're on a get Pinterest ideas and like on how to use something multiple times budget is what we're doing here. Which is the premise of today's episode. So hello and welcome to another edition of Vigorously. I am your host, Val Kleinhands. Very excited to chat a little bit more about clothes. I took to Instagram to ask you if you were thinking, well, where your heads were at as far as what you're into more. I feel like as a whole, social media is changing. We're in the midst of a change when it comes to what we consume, what we like, what we follow, what we're posting, and what's successful, what's not successful. All of that is kind of being reevaluated right now. I like some of what I'm seeing in the sense that I feel like it's becoming a little bit more authentic. It's not so curated anymore. I'm seeing girls post with their face mask on, or while they're doing their skincare, and I know that that's been kind of happening for a minute. I just feel like it's happening a little bit more often now. I feel like we're not assuming we have to show up so curated, and I love to see that, and I hope that that is a trend that we'll continue to see more of, because it's realistic. It's realistic. It's fun to see the glitz and the glam. It's fun to look at entertainment and pop culture and go, ooh, I love the pretty outfits. I love the glitz. I love the glam. I want my own glam squad. But that lifestyle is not attainable for the average person. It's not sustainable or affordable for the average person. And it's high time that we start to acknowledge this and talk about it more. And I do think that we are starting to get a little bit more real about that. I think we're also starting to get a little angry on social media, which I'm not a fan of. I don't know why. I feel like I'm seeing more negativity, and I feel like I'm seeing a little bit more anger. However, on the positive side, I'm also feel like I'm seeing a little bit more realness. So it's kind of a strange place to be. Social media is a little bit of a weird place to be right now, which is why I think that using it is still important, because it's still reaching people. And sometimes, because for most of us, it is pretty cost effective to use. It seems to be where we're getting our messaging. It seems to be what sparks conversation still. So why not? So as long as we're still doing that, and as long as we're still kind of sort of tuned in-ish, why don't we talk about something important? And that is sustainability. What brought this episode on? Early Black Friday sales. I've been seeing them. You've been seeing them. We're into November now. 'Tis the season, right? And that's great. And that's enjoyable. But I'm also seeing that I have to sit back and go, that's nice, but let me go through a process of intentionality, integrity, before I actually hit checkout or before I actually hit purchase. Let's do that more often. Just being realistic about the state of our world and our economy. I mean, For crying out loud, Cardi B's out here saying, I am sorry for asking y'all to buy my album in the middle of what is very chaotic and in a time where people are losing their SNAP benefits and the assistance that they rely on. It's in our country, in America, it's hard. We need to acknowledge that. We need to talk about that. So it made me want to just touch on the subject of buying with intention, because I don't think that we have to keep up with the Joneses anymore. I'm glad that more and more people are jumping on board with that concept. I have been a victim of that concept. I'm going to own it, particularly when I was younger. And I don't know if it's getting older. I don't know if it's becoming a homeowner or all the above, but there seems to be this change in perspective when you look back and go, man, I dropped money on things that I don't know I should have. Or, ooh, I only kept that item for a little bit. Why did I spend that much money on that? Or why did that become a thing? Why did I become that susceptible to that trend that doesn't even exist anymore? They're all valid questions. They're all fair questions. So I thought we'd just take a minute to dive into that and talk about my sustainable style tips, because we're here because we're into clothes. I'm into clothes. When I chatted on Instagram, oh yeah, backing up. I think I lost track of that. Backing up, y'all wanted to talk about the outfits more than you wanted to talk about like funny videos. I did a poll on stories and that was the result. So that's why we're bringing us back to clothes now. So just to make this a little bit more simple, I decided that I was going to share, how many of these are there? There's seven rules for myself that I have written down that I will share with you for when I'm in the middle of making a purchase. Once I decide I'm financially able to treat myself, I do keep that shopping spree in check by making myself a few ground rules. I did this after getting myself into too much credit card debt over clothes. A lot of it was over clothes when I was younger. Some of it was other things, but a lot of it was clothes. And I wish I hadn't done that for a lot of reasons. I think I would have become a homeowner a lot sooner if I didn't do that. I think I would have been a lot more relaxed. Like I wasn't anticipating all my money's going to be gone again. Nope. Now here's another check and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. And oh, this surprise incident happened and now I don't have the money for it. Like I was running into that. I made stupid decisions. I did. And looking back, if you're in a spot like that, or you have been in a spot like that, I feel you. I feel you on how easy it is to fall into that trap, because we have the professional world telling us we need to present ourselves a specific way. We need to buy clothes that fall in line with that. Media we consume doesn't help. That's what I was kind of getting into with the whole lifestyle of it all. I mean, we watch shows like Housewives, Selling Sunset, gorgeous homes, gorgeous outfits. It's a fashion show every day. Glam Squad is on call any minute. And I mean, they show lavish lifestyles that just, for most people, are living beyond their means. It's crazy. And I get why we watch it, because we're fascinated, but we're also fascinated because it's not an everyday thing. It's not an everyday occurrence to put a down payment on $1 million, $2 million, $3 million house, $20 million house. Like that's not, most people don't do that and can't do that. And that's not a slight. I think that we're getting to the point where we're starting to realize that isn't a slight anymore. It just means that the majority of people tend to fall within a specific average range when it comes to their income. And not many are a part of the bracket that says you can put a down payment on a $20 million house. Okay. It's just not real for most people. So to avoid doing this again, to avoid history repeating itself, I have now created 7 rules that I will share with you, for making sure I don't do that again. First rule, first question I ask myself, is this item going to fit me properly? Now, here's the struggle. I understand that more and more of us are being, what I will say, is forced to shop online. Less and less is available in stores. Less and less is in stock in the physical store clothes to actually try on. Less and less is available to do that. I hear you on that. That is a struggle. That is annoying, especially if you're somebody like me who has a particular style and likes to dress a particular way. I love to have a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a 90s vibe, and a little bit of, and obviously a rock and roll vibe to what I do. So sometimes that's not always available in stores or mainstream stores. Sometimes it's at a vintage shop. Sometimes it's online. So when it comes to buying things online and feeling like we're forced to buy more and more online because less and less is available in stores, you avoid the whole, is this item going to fit me properly to do, by knowing your measurements and just reading the size guides provided. I have taken my own measurements. I've written them down. I know what they are. I pop open the size guide when the website shares it, and I go, okay, check, check, check. I qualify. Now I can hit purchase. The other question that I like to ask, it's like item B under question 1, is does this item still fit? Now, if the answer to that is no, particularly if it's been a year or longer, donate it, baby. You don't need to keep it around us. If it's been sitting there, it ain't what you want. Unless there's like a real sentimental reason or a concrete reason that you can put by keeping that item. Why keep it? Why? It takes up space. Second rule / question that I ask for myself. Have I worn this item within the last year? If the answer to that is no, donate it, baby. Donate it. We don't need it. If I haven't worn it within the last year, if I'm that unexcited about it, I never needed to buy it in the first place, which is going to take me to another point I'm going to make in a bit. So it can go. It's taking up space. It doesn't have to. Number 3. Would I feel uncomfortable if I wore this in public? If the answer is yes, I would, don't buy it. Because you're not actually going to wear it. You might intend to wear it in the house only, but if it ain't sleepwear, you're not keeping that promise, because who are you wearing it for? Who's going to see it? If you're uncomfortable wearing it in public, and you know you'd be uncomfortable wearing it in public, I get wanting to take a chance and wanting to experiment. I'm just saying, don't do this so many times that you screw up your financials. And if you don't feel like you could wear it in public, you'd be uncomfortable wearing it in public, bye-bye. Don't buy it. Don't buy it to begin with. 4th item. Does this design and aesthetic meet my standards? Now, for me and my picky ass, that is a question I love asking myself. Here's the thing. If it ain't exactly what you're looking for, don't buy it. I've had situations, I'll give you this example, where I have seen what online looks like a really cool vintage t-shirt, right? But then I'll buy it because it's affordable. It's $20-$30, we'll say. And then I get it, and it's this screen printed, just not what I'm looking for. Or the design isn't exactly what I'm looking for. Like it just, go in to your shopping adventure with intention. Have an image in your head. Make a Pinterest board of what it is that you're trying to achieve. Examples of outfits that you're into that you are trying to actually put in your own closet. Go in with intention. That's how you avoid that mishap. 5th item. Will this item continue to bring me joy a year from now? If the answer is yes, buy it. Are you still going to be happy with those Doc Marten boots next year? I mean, for me, the answer to that 9 times out of 10 is yes. Yes, I will be. So usually, if I see one I like, I will buy it because I will be glad that I did a year from then, right? So keep that in mind. Ask yourself that. Am I going to be happy with this? And am I going to be glad I bought this a year from now? If it's yes, buy it. 6th item. Will I regret not having this item a year from now? Opposite side of the coin. Point A. Are you neutral on the item? If so, if it doesn't catch your eye immediately, if you're not ooh, I have to have this absolutely right now. I've been looking for this for a minute. Like, if it's not that, give yourself a day before purchasing to sort out how you really feel about it. Because if you can live without it, well, you can. So don't buy it. If this is part B to this, is this something I truly need right now? There's a time factor in all this. There are points in the year where we might get a birthday bonus, a Christmas bonus, whatever. There's certain times of the year where financially we do a little bit better than the remainder of the year. So sometimes it's worth it to just wait a hot minute. I've got my eye on some Marshall speakers, Bluetooth speakers, and a set of headphones that I would love to purchase. However, I have not purchased them now. I have not purchased them because I'm waiting for their Black Friday sale, because I know it's going to be worth it. There's going to be enough of a deal, and I'll be glad that I waited, and it will be at a price that I will be okay with paying. So like I said, sometimes if you know something's coming up, like a sale, like you're going to come into a little bit more money or whatever, if you know that, sometimes it's worth the wait, to just wait to purchase whatever you've had on your mind until then. Here's another question to ask yourself. Is this something that I need right now because it's connected to a specific person, or not person, purpose? If the answer to that is yes, buy it. For example, can I see that I have an interview coming up next week and I really don't have what I need to feel like I'm dressed my best for that? That's a situation where, yeah, you probably should put some urgency on that and buy it. Or I know I have an event coming. I don't have a dress or whatever, or an outfit that is going to work for this, that's already in my closet. Well, then yes, you need to go and you need to shop. That's a different type of situation. So weigh that as well. Weigh that to determine if you need to make the purchase immediately, is what I'm getting at. Last item. Can I wear this to multiple events or in multiple scenarios? Boom. Great question. Love asking myself that question. The point is, it's like, can this item be styled in multiple ways? Statement pieces are great for this, but remember that you also don't need a lot of statement pieces either. For example, black blazer. Okay. Every woman, navy blazer, white blazer, gray blazer, whatever, black blazer. Every woman, man, non-binary person, that you need a black blazer in your closet. You will not regret having a black blazer in your closet, because you can wear that in multiple instances. You can wear that to any event that requires an element of professionalism, or that just requires a level of dressing up. That can be transferable to any of those events. That's what I'm talking about. Or a pair of pumps, right? Heels. A pair of black pumps. That goes with anything. Can go to any event. Can be worn at multiple events. Something like that. Loafers, black loafers. They can be worn at work. They can be worn at a networking event. They can be worn at a funeral even, or a wedding. I mean, really, you could wear that in multiple occasions. That's the kind of thing that I want you to think about. A black t-shirt, great. Well, you can dress that black t-shirt up, or you can also dress that black t-shirt down if you're having more of a casual day. If it's a casual situation, black t-shirt, great. White t-shirt, great for the same reason. I'm going to get more detailed with this. Like, after you make your purchase. So once you've decided to make that purchase, you can get the most out of it with a couple of tips that I'm going to offer you now that will help you accessorize that item in multiple ways. Let's take a white t-shirt, for example. You can make that white t-shirt look professional if you add a vest, or if you add a little bit of jewelry, if you add a blazer, if you add a belt, if you add a specific cardigan. I mean, and when it comes to tops, consider switching up the bottom that you wear with a top that isn't. You could do this with tops that are monochromatic. you can switch up the bottoms and wear that monochromatic top, that black top, white top, whatever, something that isn't colorful and printed. That's transferable for skirts, jeans, trousers. You can wear any of the above that I just listed with that one item. Think about that too. So think about purchasing tops that will allow you to do that as well. There's a number of ways to do this. If you want to see it in practice, just look at my Instagram. In conclusion, do enjoy treating yourself this season, because Lord knows we need it after this year. We're already starting to get into how crazy it's been, reflecting, looking back. Enjoy the season. It already has begun, the shopping season, we'll say, but do it with intention. Ask yourself those questions when you go in and do it. Is this item going to fit me properly? Have I worn this item within the last year? Would I feel uncomfortable if I wore this item in public? Does the design and aesthetic meet my vibe and my standards and my energy? Will this item continue to bring me joy a year from now? Will I regret not having this item a year from now? And can I wear this item to multiple events or multiple scenarios? And how can I do it? Can I do it with something that's, as a bonus, already in my closet? Well, you probably can. If you think about styling it with different bottoms, styling it with different vests, different cardigans, different blazers, different accessories, you probably can. Think that way. That's what I will encourage you to do. Shop with intention. Those are my sustainable style tips for you. Let's chat about this on Instagram, because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. You can see me practice this item on Instagram as well if you're looking for some tips IRL. Thanks so much for joining me for another week. We've got more episodes coming. Just hang in with me. I'm recovering from a cold that I feel like I'm mostly over now, but that's why this past week took a minute. But I'm glad to be back. I do want to come on more often. Just hang in there with me, and we'll do what we got to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.